Shalom, my dear friends. A kosher and happy Passover from Chabad, Sacramento. We're going to go through now the Seder. It's going to be a model Seder to show the important parts of the Seder. Now, we have to drink at this night of Passover 4 cups of wine. And we have to eat matzah. So we're going to go through the steps of the Seder. The Seder is made of steps. At first we have the Kiddush. The Kiddush is the sanctification of Passover, ushering the holiday on a cup of wine. We take the cup of wine in our hand and we say the Kiddush. And then we drink this cup leaning to the left. And the reason why we lean to the left is because that's how the great noblemen ate. We are kings, we are free people. The only thing that we have over us is our belief in God and our service to God through Torah and mitzvahs. There's no one else that has any dominion over us besides our loving Creator. After we make the Kiddush, we wash our hands and we do not make a blessing. The reason we wash our hands, there's an argument in the Talmud, if you eat a pickle, we know if you eat bread, you have to wash your hands. There's an argument in the Talmud, if you eat a pickle, if you have to wash your hands. So we wash our hands according to that opinion, not with a blessing. And we do that because the children are used to making Kiddush, washing the hands, and having bread. So they're not used to washing the hands and having the karpas, the onion, dipped in salt water. Then we have a very interesting custom. The custom of yachatz. Yachatz is taking the middle matzah from the 3 matzahs, breaking it into half. And the bigger half, we put the smaller half back into the matzah, between the 2 matzahs. And we take the bigger half and we break it into 5 pieces. And we hide it for the afikoman. The reason we break it into 5 pieces is for the 5 severities, to sweeten the 5 severities. And we put away the afikoman. Throughout the Seder, we continue with the kids asking the questions, and we read the Haggadah, and we have this little piece of matzah sticking out. The reason we have this piece of matzah sticking out is because this piece of matzah is called lechem oni, poor man's bread. Like someone said a joke, shmura matzah costs so much, it impoverishes those people that buy it. It's just a joke. But it's a poor man's bread. A poor man just has a little piece. He doesn't have a whole piece. He can't afford it. So we have a small piece of matzah, and it's also called lechem. Oni is poor, and oini is called, we say the Haggadah over this piece of matzah. So the piece of matzah is sticking out, and we say the Haggadah over this piece of matzah. Then we say the final blessing on the 2nd cup of wine, and we say the beginning of the Hallel, just like in the time of the Passover. We had the beginning of the Hallel said before they ate the Passover sacrifice. Then we eat the matzah and the mortar, the bitter herbs. Then we make a sandwich, because there's an opinion that you don't do the mitzvah of matzah unless you have it together with mortar. So we do both. This tells us that we need the matzah Jew and the mortar Jew together. We can't have one without the other. You're not a nation if you're not together. God doesn't want just one type, the goody-goody. He wants us all together, with our blemishes, with our good, the evil, the ugly. He wants us all together. Then we have a beautiful festive meal. Then we have the 3rd cup of wine. We say grace after meal to the 3rd cup of wine. Before we say grace after meal, we eat the afikoman. Because in the times of old, the Passover sacrifice was eaten at the end of the meal. And because we shouldn't be hungry when we eat it. And we shouldn't break a bone by accident when you're hungry. Or you shouldn't You eat it like a delicatessen, like a nice food. So that's the afikoman. We say grace after meal, we bench. And then we pour a fourth cup and a cup for Elijah. Because Elijah comes to visit every Seder. And after we say grace after meal, we open the door. And we walk to the door with candles, greeting Elijah and asking God for whatever we want. And we finish that Hallel and we drink the fourth cup of wine. And God shall give us true redemption and true freedom through doing these exercises. It's a cracker, but this is God's will. And this connects us to the highest levels and gives us strength for a whole year full of freedom. Shalom.